Agile user story mapping. Is a 50 kg rock or 50 kg pebbles easier to handle? What will you do when you have a large boulder and you are supposed to handle it? Wouldn't you want to break it down into smaller and smaller rocks and then further into smaller stones? So today we will discuss about the very same in terms of user story and its mapping. Welcome all. I am Rashmi, a senior IT consultant. Let us get started. For a quick revision, in an agile practice, a mountain stands for vision. You can say the entire product is visualized for customers' need. That is, what will be achieved once the software product is developed. Boulder. A boulder stands for theme. Themes help the high-level vision to be broken down into epics. Rock. Rock stands for epics. Break the boulder into rocks. Now, when the boulder is broken down, the business analyst with his experience and team's input decides which part of the rock to tackle first. Ideally, a rock should fit into a sprint time length. If it doesn't fit in one sprint, that means you have to break it down further. An approved rock is ready for backlog grooming with the team. Granules or pebbles. They stand for user stories. You can consider pebbles as highly prioritized items. They can be picked up for the active sprint. Webber Guile states, as a user story represents a small, concise statement of functionality or quality needed to deliver value to a specific stakeholder. A user story may be supported through the development of detailed acceptance criteria. SAND. SAND stands for task. Though user stories are a smaller chunk of work, but it is important to understand the framework of the whole user story for the product of the project. This will help the product owner, development team, business analyst, and the project manager be in line with the user's requirement. User story map. User story mapping is a user story management technique. It is basically decomposing top-level user requirements into smaller chunk of tasks. It allows the Agile framework project to have user stories as ordered and organized. It helps the user stories to be prioritized and decide which user story to put in the pipeline for the next sprint or iteration. Which all user stories can be clubbed together to attain specific functionality. Usually, a whiteboard is used to do the story mapping. User story mapping is one of the practices that is implemented to prioritize items from the backlog. The product owner, ideally the business analyst, is aware of the bigger and holistic picture of the customer's requirement. And so, he/she conveys the same to the team as well. First, the flow of the building block is sketched. As you can see, narrative flow in the below picture. The user stories are split into further smaller stories. After this, clear and concise tasks are created. So gradually, the development team builds the product with a needed number of iterations. Story map starts from a collection of user features received from the different sources. That is use case, BPMN, that is business process modeling notation, maybe from WBS, work breakdown structure, or even mind maps into the product backlog, and then into walking skeletons. When the epics are broken into the stories, they are added with detailed level of requirement. The user story can be detailed with two ways. Either split the story or add level of acceptance criteria. The user stories are picked up from the product backlog. The story mapping is done in a collaborative meetings with agile development teams input. This will help to visualize the desired result the end user wants to achieve. The user story tool allows you to establish multiple levels and dimensions for a product backlog through the breakdown of user needs user activities, user tasks, epics, and user stories. Story mapping helps in managing the backlog and vision of user needs. Instead of basic whiteboard and sticky notes, we have different popular tools available which can be used for user story mapping. To name a few, we have Affinity Table, Spic Map, Stories on Board, Cardboard, Feature Map, Jira, Upway, and so on. Let us take one user story. Login functionality required. Now this can be rephrased as a user, I want to be able to log in into XYZ application using my username and password so that I'm ready to use the application securely. Please note the underlined and in bold statement fragments. So you can see any user story typically follows a simple template. As a type of user, I want to achieve some goal so that some reason is there. Now here comes another aspect of basic developed product, which can be released to the customer. This is called MVP, that is minimal viable product. This means the skeleton product, which can be tested and used by the customer to some extent, is realized. And this early product can be shipped to customer and continue with further development on the basis of customers' feedback. The product at this stage is termed as MVP, which is minimal viable product. The product is crucial at this stage because this will be the first release to the customer. Business analyst ensures the envisioned product is fitting on top of it. An MVP has 3 key characteristics. It has enough value that people are willing to use it or buy it initially. It demonstrates enough future benefit to retain early adopters. It provides a feedback loop to guide future development. Now let us understand user story mapping and MVP with an example. Purchasing of books from web store required. So here is a book web store. The vision of this bookstore is to allow the users to purchase books online. Check out the flow from the user's perspective. Think of the product as a whole. You can rephrase it as a user, I want to be able to purchase books from this book website. The initial draft of the user story mapping can look like this. You can see view homepage, search book by title, add book to shopping cart, checkout, search book by category, highlight selected books on homepage. As it advances, these big stories or epics are broken down into smaller stories, maybe like this. Creating of the website, search, e-commerce, highlight selected books on homepage, and further advances like this. View homepage, create a details page about book, browse books by category, implement book search, shopping cart support, checkout. Again, in this website designing view homepage, they have added view basic homepage, highlight selected books on homepage. Now you can see here as well, highlight selected books on homepage is there. The team decides this can be taken in the early development here. So the user story from here gets prioritized and comes here. Show book details, allow users to post reviews on books. Show books within a category. Later they decide that search can be advanced with search for book by title as well and search for book by author. E-commerce has been added with another 2 stories as add book to shopping cart, removing book from shopping cart. And checkout has been added with checkout by credit card, PayPal checkout. Now, the business analyst or product owner decides with the development team which all user stories can be picked up from the product backlog for the early release or the first release. The first planned product release to the customer, which is testable and usable, is the MVP. Suppose the team decides that these features can be shipped to the customer. The basic skateboard is ready with these many user stories. So you can see how user map actually helps us visualize the product for users' need and also help to maintain the product backlog. We hope this video was of help to you. User story mapping is discussed comprehensively in all of our business analysis certification courses like ECBA, CCBA, CBAP, Certified Agile Business Analyst, and Agile Analysis Certification. Please feel free to contact us for any queries. Thank you.